time and work. And first of all, could you introduce a little bit about yourself to the viewers?
So my name is Nikita. I am an Indian, but I live in the UAE. I live in Dubai. I am a lawyer by profession, but in Uzbekistan, I am running my own firm, my own consultancy firm. And yes, I love this country. I think it's a brilliant place for opportunities. So my idea is to, make this country, the city, getting investments into the country, giving local investors a platform to invest outside. And that's why.
From which country especially?
Any place. I mean, from India, in UAE, or any part Europe. So I have
all around the globe, right?
Yes, because people are looking to expand their businesses, but the problem is most of the time people don't know how to go about it.
Yes.
So because I worked as a lawyer, worked with a lot of big transactions, so I understand where the missing pieces are. So it's always good to connect the right people. So that's what my company does here, to bridge, make people the right partners and help them expand their business.
Yes, how extraordinary.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about sir? What about you, sir?
I'm a teacher from England. I've taught in a few countries abroad. I'm now in Uzbekistan for my 4th year. And I do really like Uzbekistan.
As England people say, posh. That's posh. I really appreciate this word because rarely people use this word posh. Yeah? It's quite like old word perhaps. I have some friends in Preston City in the United Kingdom and also in Scotland as well. So let's talk about an English language, sir. You are an English teacher. And could you please talk about, as English is really like widely spoken language in the world, right? We know it. And it has dialects as well. For instance, in the United Kingdom, there are lots of dialects. And now let's talk about the dialects. This is really interesting.
I'm from Yorkshire, and although I have a very soft dialect because I've been out of the country for many years, you know where people are from how they're speaking. Sometimes even us as English do not understand the dialects, especially from the northeast, Newcastle, sometimes down in Devon. Like the dialects are so far apart, you have to really listen.
Yeah.
Even our children say so. And when we have Irish-speaking teachers, like, what's he saying?
Yeah.
But you have to listen very carefully. So I understand that sometimes that is hard for our children, even though they understand English and they have a good grasp of English. But sometimes the dialects, yes, the accents.
Yeah. How do you deal with this problem in Uzbekistan? While teaching your or conducting
students.
your lessons among the students.
They understand me. The occasional word that they don't, and I have to say it again or
we have a phone
explain
call.
it.
Yes, Puzzle. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm incredibly satisfied to see you again on this channel.
Okay.
Yes, please. What's your name, bro?
My name is Azizbek.
Azizbek.
Yeah.
Yeah, from where are you calling?
I'm from Andijan.
Very cool. Do you have an option?
Yeah, I have an answer. It is Lithuania. Lithuania.
Can you repeat?
Lithuania. Litva.
Lithuania. All right.
Very interesting.
Really far from our answer, but anyway, you will know the answer at the end of our program, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have a chance, please try to search again one more time and call back later.
Yeah. Do you study or work?
I study now.
Sorry?
Studies now.
I'm studying at school.
Yes. In which grade?
Can you repeat?
In which class do you study? Class?
Yeah.
Class
I
7, 8?
studied at 9th class.
Yeah, 9th class.
Ninth
Wow.
class.
You have 2
You are so
years
older.
more.
Yeah.
14 years old.
Yeah, so try to obtain certificates and try to set a goal. Because when you
Yeah,
set a
thank
goal, you can just accomplish everything you want.
Yeah.
Good
For
luck.
sure. Thank you very
brother.
much, our dear spectator, for calling us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
wish you good health and have a wonderful day.
Break a leg. Good luck.
Thank you.
Pardon, excuse me. Let's prolong our conversation. Just interfered. No issue, please. Let's continue.
Yes, can you share with us your teaching philosophy? As an English teacher, teaching philosophy.
I'm teaching mathematics.
Mathematics?
Oh, okay.
Mathematics.
In English, mathematics.
In English.
In English,
but
mathematics.
Mathematics.
Ah, you don't
Wow.
teach English. You teach
No, I don't
mathematics.
teach English. No, I teach mathematics and English. Like most of our teachers there, we teach our subject, but it's in English.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we realized that English. Huh?
What about chemistry or other ones?
Yeah, we have chemistry, we have biology, we have physics, and they're all taught in English.
In which university or
I teach at Westminster,
Westminster
School.
International?
School, not the university.
School.
School. West.
Perfect.
So
Very
the classes
impressive.
are conducted in English in Westminster School, right?
Yes.
All right, great.
How is the difference between, have you ever come across, or the level of the students or peoples comparing to the other nations? Maybe England.
I taught in England, which is very different range of students, from very poor behaving students to very good. And I think the Uzbek students are one of the best I've taught. As far as personally, they are, you can talk to them very easily, they respond to you. We don't have, in England sometimes you have problems with students who have difficulties at home. We don't really have that here. It's one of the best, the students are the very best. They're dealing with a third language, Uzbek, Russian and English, and they can communicate with you in English. And I can just about get my taxi in Russian. So, I admire them for that. Very, I would say they're probably one of the best set of students I've had in my career.
Generally, how many languages do you know?
Me, I know English, a little bit of French, a little bit of German.
Can you communicate in that language as well, German and French?
Yes.
Ein bisschen Deutsch.
Right.
Russian, no. No, I've
But
been
you are planning in the future you're going to learn Russian.
I would like to learn it. I just
Yes.
haven't the time to try and do it.
How about you, Miss Nikita? How many languages do you know?
At present, I know English and Hindi, and I'm currently learning Russian because I realize, to interact with people here, it's very important to know the language, and I realized the importance of language when I came to Uzbekistan. To connect to people. I mean, even though with sign languages you can get through a lot, and my first few experiences were all in sign languages, but what I love about the people is that they're always so open and ready to help you. But yeah, I'm learning Russian.
Perfect. And as an experienced educator and of course specialist for your some kind of particular sphere or field, how would you describe the impact of the language to the nation, state and society?
I mean, I feel, I think in my experience since I've come here in the last 1 year, I think language is important to connect to people where you are. And in the same manner, I see the eagerness of people here to learn English, because they also realize that they want to connect to foreigners who are coming in here, because I suddenly see a lot of foreigners in this country. So I see a lot of people who want to speak to me in English. Like I try to speak to them in Russian, they'll be like, no, we want to speak
Because
to
you would like to enhance your Russian skills, but they
because
want to
I was
enhance their
yeah,
English.
they want to
Like
know, they
the
tell me no,
Russian.
speak in English. So it's always like that. I tell them no, tell me Russian.
Yeah.
So I think language is a means of communication. I think it's a way to just...
It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. That's although sign language is perfect, but it is a way to understand each other. It's been my experience.
What about you, sir, from your experience?
Yeah, you find, yes, much as we would like to speak Russian, even taxi drivers, people we meet out in the streets, they want to speak English. They want us to speak English. They want to hear proper English.
Correct.
Right.
Not American English. They want to hear people speaking English so they can improve. And you know, taxi driver, professor, and he's learning English to go do something else somewhere in the world, and they just want to speak English, and I find that very revealing to me. It's just that, you know, they really want to do that.
Do you have some kind of unique techniques to learn some kind of new languages? For example, most of the people consider that being born some kind of countries, it's more useful to speak that languages. But naturally, in other continents you live and you wanted to learn Russian. How? Do you have some kind of techniques or methods? Some easily appropriate, or some only communication with the native speakers is useful, or some self-study or others?
I don't particularly, but I would class myself as a lazy Englishman, that I don't take the time out to do that. But when I want to know something, I will ask my students, I will ask my Uzbek teachers, and even the taxi drivers are a wealth of knowledge of communication, of talking about things. All the time I'm asked, American, are you American? American? No, I'm English. But they want to speak English, and we hear stories like, oh, I'm learning English now to go to England, to go to university or go do this.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, great.
Yeah. Miss Nikita, I have a question. Have you ever participated in any conferences or international conferences or competitions?
I mean, I've attended a lot of conferences, international conferences, especially because as a lawyer, you know, I've been a part of it, attending it, meeting people, and you know, and like your question was about language, you know, so I think it's very important to actually important to learn it the right way. I think going for classes is one good way, but very important is like really sitting down and rehearsing yourself, listening to YouTube, you know, channels, music. I think music is one very good way to learn the language, because I heard you guys sing the Hindi song.
Yeah, Hindi music.
Yeah, of
so
course.
that's a very good tool to actually pick on. So nowadays when I'm listening to Russian music, I get excited when I pick on few words, because it's a very good tool. So I think that's a good way of you know, learning a language. Classes plus, you know, listening to music, and you have all these new apps nowadays, which just makes it very easy.
Yeah,
Like
we have
SpeakPal
very
application.
modern appliances and
Yes.
modern facilities to learn anything.
Correct.
Like Hello Talk application.
Yeah, of
so
course.
many of them now, so it's so easy for you to do it.
Yeah. In our last approach, I'm going to ask that, what have you discovered for yourself in the education and your entrepreneurial field as well?
Education, it's a very diverse world in Uzbekistan. We have students who have to take Uzbek courses in history and in the language, and that sort of restricts us in what we can teach. We can only teach so many subjects. In the United Kingdom, you would do 8 GCSEs, and here, because of the Uzbekistan, you only have 5, so it kind of limits the students a little bit. But trying to tell them to go with their heart and not with their friends, and choose the subject they like and they maybe want to do. You know, at 14, who knows what you want to be? And so you just try and make it as diverse as you can. Don't narrow it down, you know, don't narrow it down to one field. But I have found students here to be the best I've ever taught abroad. You obviously get some students who are